What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix, and today I have a very interesting video for you guys. So all day today I've been AFKing fishing while playing around with this Void spreadsheet that I made, and I was originally gonna make a video about melee, ranged, and magic Void and talk about how useful they are in 2018, but I stumbled across some really interesting stuff when I was in the range spreadsheet. Now, before I go on and talk about how Void works, I'd like to quickly explain two key items that can really change your standpoint on whether you should use Void or you should not use Void. If you've unlocked a Slayer Helmet Eye, so you've imbued a Slayer Helmet, you can get a 15% boost to range accuracy and damage, which easily outplays Void and Elite Void. But it is worth noting that a Salve Amulet EI can give you a 20% bonus in range, stacking with Void but not stacking with the Slayer Helm. So for any undead Slayer tasks, always use Void and the Salve Amulet EI. Now, Void increases your bonuses in a very unique way, and a lot of people don't really know about this. So I'm on the Runescape.com forums right now, and there is a page here by this dude, with credit to all of these guys for making this forum topic. Basically here we have how your levels are calculated when you're taking damage, giving damage, how high you hit, how often you hit. So this is how your overall level in a specific combat skill is calculated. Firstly, you get the level from your skill tab, and then you multiply it by the prayer adjustment, which is just what the percentage increase shows of that prayer or whatever prayer you're using. Then you round down, add the stance bonus, add 8, and then multiply by the Void bonus. Now, why this is so important is that all of these other steps happen before the Void multiplication. So that means that if you have a very high prayer adjustment and you're using accurate, your Void bonus is going to be a lot more than someone who isn't using prayer or accurate. So that's where my Google spreadsheet comes in. In the top left, we have a player's range level. Then we have an enemy, which I've entered the stats of Vorkarth. And then we have the range attack and strength bonuses, which you can really easily find the attack bonus here and the strength bonus there. And then we have the range attack bonus if you're wearing Void, and then the range strength, and a heap of calculations with the effective level that we were just talking about down here. Before we go along, I want to show you guys the assumptions that I currently have in the spreadsheet. At the moment, the range attack and strengths are based on these armor sets right here. The one on the left is the absolute best range bonus you can get in the game. Actually, the heavy ballista is a bit better, but I wanted to include the twisted buckler since it is the best range shield in the game. And the Void setup is okay, no it's not. So yeah, I've basically gone and swapped the helmet, body, legs, and gloves for the Void counterparts. The regular Void columns, obviously you're not going to be wearing Elite Void. Now, if we swing to the right-hand side of the spreadsheet, you can see that I've given an outline of what Eagle Eye and Rigor does and what the Voids do. And the current assumption of this spreadsheet is that you're using Rigor. You can see in this formula here that I've inputted the 20% range attack boost, and down here I've inputted the 23% range strength boost, and that's the same for all of these squares. So with Rigor activated, there is a 0.7 increase in the average hit if you're using Rigor, but then when we only have Eagle Eye activated, Elite Void range becomes only 0.4 average hits bigger, and really not that far off regular Void and the non-Void setup. Now, using the oldschool.tools website, you can find their equipment bonus page, which lets you put any setup you want into the equipment slots, and it tells you the bonuses that you'd get out of wearing that gear. Now, this, I'd assume, would be probably the best two setups at raids, particularly for the Great Olm. So I've gone ahead and grabbed the gear stats from this website and inputted them into here. And by using the RuneScape wiki, we can grab the defensive bonuses of the Great Olm, and his defense level is 272, and his defense bonus is plus 50. And by the way, my range level is 120 because if you use an Overload Plus potion in raids, you can get level 120 range. So that's the maximum level you get. But you can see down here that I've changed all of these to what Rigor's boosts are. The non-Void setup is a lot better now at Olm, but another very interesting point is that regular Void and Elite Ranged Void give the exact same average hit, and the reason for that is that their accuracy is exactly the same, but the max hits are rounded down. if we were not to get the integer out of these numbers, we'd see that the max hit with Elite Void is probably like 36.9. So it's almost 37 with the absolute max setup. But if you were to wear just regular Void instead of Elite Void here, you'd be hitting identical. Now, despite Elite Void range not being the best at the Great Olm because of his huge defense level, the fact that you only need to switch helmets throughout the raid makes it a lot more inviting and a lot cheaper. Let's have a look at the stats of Zoras' magic form, and he has level 300 defense but plus 0 range defense. So I've inputted Zoras' stats here, and the range level is at now 112 because we can't use overloads at Zora. And these are no longer the setups. I'm assuming you're using the blowpipe, the same setup as I was showing for Olm. And now, since the enemy's range defense bonus is really low, Elite Void is now better. So if you'd like a copy of the spreadsheet, all you need to do is click the spreadsheet link down below and then go File, make a copy, and save one into your Google Drive. Now, when you're using it, of course, you need to change the enemy defense and defense bonus, your range level, make sure it's your boosted level, the stats of your range gear in Void and without Void, which you can also use the Old School Tools website, which I'll put a link to down below to get the equipment stats. And then lastly, you also need to change your prayer. So if you want to change your prayer bonus, you have to go into the effective levels. All 6 of these boxes need changing. It's always the number that's getting multiplied by B4 on the spreadsheet. And let's say you were using Hawkeye, which gives you, I think it's 10% damage and accuracy boost for range, you just put 1.1. And then you'd have to go ahead and change the rest of them that are multiplied to B4 to 1. You can freely use this spreadsheet to see which of your 2 setups has the better average hit on whatever you're fighting, and you can play around with it with different gear setups, different levels. So yeah, the link for that is down below. In summary of this video, Void basically hits higher, but it is slightly less accurate, so it's better for monsters with low defense. But from the average hits that we found in the calculator, other gear only really becomes better at bosses with a really high defense, like the Great Olm. I encourage you guys to go use this spreadsheet and work it out for yourself, because obviously I can't show every single combination of gear for everyone. Also, I've made a couple of Android apps for the release of RuneScape Mobile that's coming soon, and I plan to release a few more to iOS once I finish making them. So if you want to check out those apps, the link to my developer account is in the description below. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did learn something, be sure to leave a like. And as always guys, thanks for watching and have a nice day.